3 noble sustenances to thwart the vexing leg cramps that plague our venerable elders, fostering muscles both robust and hale. Dost thou tire of rousing in the dark of night, beset by the torment of leg cramps, or dost thou grapple with the stiffness of thy muscles, rendering movement a formidable trial? Hark! Tidings of joy dost approach. Lo! The proper fare doth soothe thy weary muscles, enhance the flow of life's essence, and thwart the onset of painful cramps ere they commence. In this day's discourse, we dost unveil the 3 most wondrous superfoods that aid our esteemed elders in banishing cramps, fortifying their sinews, and preserving their graceful mobility. Pray, remain close, for thou wouldst not wish to forego these transformative counsel on nourishment. Pray, before we embark upon this discourse, I would fain inquire from whence thou dost join me this day. Pray, leave thy thoughts below, and do not hesitate to inquire of any queries that dwell within thy mind, and let not thy hand forget to press the subscribe button and awaken the notifications, that thou mayest never miss a boon for thy health from Holistic Health. First, let us discourse upon the humble egg. Amidst the bounteous array of sustenance that doth nurture the sinews of strength, the humble egg doth shine forth as a veritable treasure of vital elixirs and minerals most essential. Pray tell, how does the humble egg lend its aid to the vexing plight of leg cramps in those of advanced years? Pray, let us embark upon a journey of discovery hand in hand. Lo! The weariness of muscle doth oft lead to the cruel grasp of cramps, whilst the noble protein standeth as a vital ally in the restoration and upkeep of our sinews. In the twilight of their years, the elder folk oft find themselves beset by the cruel hand of time, as muscle doth wane, a plight known as sarcopenia, rendering them more prone to the vexing grips of cramps and the frailty of weakness. Lo! The humble egg, a veritable treasure of sustenance, does provide a full array of the 9 essential amino acids, thus rendering it a complete source of protein. A solitary egg of grand size doth bestow upon these 6 grams of protein most noble, aiding in the restoration of muscle fibers and the alleviation of fatigue therein. It doth enhance the efficiency of muscles contraction, thus diminishing the frequency of cramps most unwelcome. Incorporating eggs within one's repast doth fortify the sinews and bolster endurance, whilst diminishing the chance of grievous cramps. What manner doth the vitamin D found within eggs aid in the absorption of calcium and the fortitude of muscle function? Verily, vitamin D doth play a most vital role in the absorption of calcium and the contraction of muscles. In absence of ample vitamin D, one may find themselves beset by weakness of the muscles, cruel cramps, and the relentless grip of chronic pain. Studies reveal that those of advanced years, lacking in the vital essence of vitamin D, do oftentimes suffer from leg cramps, both more frequent and of greater severity. In the golden orb of the egg there lies a treasure most rare, for within its yolk doth dwell the essence of vitamin D, a boon to the strength of bone and sinew alike. Though the sun's warm embrace doth yield the finest bounty of vitamin D, many a seasoned soul doth linger less in the light of day, rendering the sustenance of their diet most vital. Partaking of eggs doth aid the elder folk in preserving their noble levels of vitamin D, thus lessening the peril of cramping woes. Doth the regular consumption of eggs aid in the prevention of muscle cramps wrought by a deficiency of vitamin D? Verily, yet the sustenance of the body alone may prove insufficient. In yonder egg doth lie a bounty of 40 IU of the noble vitamin D, whilst the wise counsel for our venerable elders doth suggest a daily feast of 800 to 1000 IU. To enhance the intake of that most noble vitamin D, the elder folk may wisely combine eggs with dairy products enriched, such as milk and yogurt, or partake of the bounteous fatty fish, like salmon and sardines. Pray ponder upon the notion of a vitamin D elixir, should thy levels dwindle low. Partake in the embrace of nature, whereupon the sun doth bestow its golden rays, granting the boon of vital essence known as vitamin D. Though eggs dost lend their bounty to the intake of vitamin D, The union with other sources doth assure a more robust health of muscle and bone, thus diminishing the spectre of cramp's cruel embrace. Verily, vitamin B12 doth play a most direct part in the function of our nerves. When levels dost dwindle, the signals of the nerves dost falter, giving rise to spasms of the muscle, tingling sensations, and the cruel grip of cramping. Eggs dost aid in the safeguarding of nerve health, for they dost provide B12 and choline, which in harmonious union do work together, foster the guardianship of nerve's delicate attire, the myelin sheath's noble protection, enhance the discourse twixt sinews and nerves, securing a seamless dance of contraction and repose, forestall those vexing cramps that oft plague the diabetic and the elder alike, born of neuropathy's cruel hand. Partaking of eggs with regularity doth fortify the integrity of the nerves, aiding in the diminishment of errant signals that bring forth the torment of muscle cramps. Do elder folk find themselves more susceptible to the vexing grip of muscle cramps when their B12 levels dwindle low? And in what manner might the humble egg lend its aid? Indeed, the elder folk find themselves more susceptible to the deficiency of B12, for the waning of stomach's acid production doth hinder the absorption of this vital nutrient. Common potions, such as metformin, or those that quell the flames of acid's wrath, do deplete the precious stores of B12 within our mortal vessels. Reduced consumption of fleshly fare, compelled by the bounds of dietary decree. Deficiency of B12 doth bring forth frequent muscle cramps and a weakness most dire. Injury to the nerves, giving rise to a burning fire, a numbness most profound, or tingling sensations that dance upon the skin. Anemia, that cruel thief of breath, doth diminish the flow of life's vital essence to the sinews of our strength. Eggs, a boon for the elder folk, doth provide a bounteous source of B12, easily consumed, and a most straightforward remedy to thwart the cramping pangs of deficiency. Though flesh of beast, the finned kind, and the creamy bounty of the cow does provide ample stores of B12, the humble egg doth present a leaner choice than the crimson flesh of the ox. Enhanced ease of digestion for those of advanced years, whose stomachs may falter. A bounteous blend of protein and vitamins, not solely B12 alone. For those who partake of dairy, yet shun the flesh of creatures and the bounty of eggs, the humble egg doth stand as a noble ally in the quest to uphold the levels of B12 within the body. What number of eggs per week ought seniors partake to bolster their muscle health whilst keeping cholesterol worries at bay? Now doth research affirm that a moderate indulgence in eggs, numbering 6 to 7 per week, is deemed safe for the majority, and doth not greatly sway the levels of cholesterol in the healthy elders. For those beset by ailments of the heart or burdened with high cholesterol, it is wise to seek the counsel of a learned physician, yet to supplant processed meats with the humble egg may still prove a choice most favorable for the heart's well-being. Can the humble egg serve as a remedy to quell the vexing nocturnal leg cramps that plague our venerable seniors? Verily, the afflictions of nocturnal leg cramps doth oft arise from the inadequacies of muscle recovery, the imbalance of vital electrolytes, and the malady of nerve dysfunction. Forsooth, as eggs does bestow upon us the gifts of protein, the mending of sinews, B12 for the safeguarding of nerves, vitamin D, and calcium for the strength of muscle, partaking of these orbs at eve's repast, or the morn's breaking constade in the harmonious balance of our sustenance, thus fostering the restoration of our muscles through the night, and alleviating the torment of nocturnal cramps, some aged souls may find it prudent to amend their consumption of eggs, in accordance with the dictates of their health's condition. Those of advanced years, beset by the affliction of kidney disease, might find it prudent to curtail their consumption of protein, seek counsel from a physician. For those burdened with elevated cholesterol may partake of egg whites in lieu of the whole egg. Those who bear the burden of diabetes ought to unite their eggs with the bounteous gifts of fiber-laden fare, verdant vegetables, and wholesome grains, that they may better govern the tides of their blood's sweet essence. For many a seasoned soul, the humble egg doth serve as a most advantageous sustenance, fortifying muscle, nerve, and the very essence of health itself. To reap the utmost rewards, the elder folk ought to partake of eggs with regularity, 6 to 7 times within the span of a week. Combine thine eggs with other foods rich in nutrients, such as verdant leaves, creamy dairy, and wholesome nuts. Quench thy thirst, and keep thy humours in harmonious balance. For those of venerable years, seeking to alleviate the torment of muscle cramps by nature's gentle hand, the humble egg doth present itself as a most straightforward and efficacious addition to their repast. Thus, when next thou dost prepare thy morn's repast, ponder well the addition of an egg upon thy plate. 'Tis among the finest selections for the well-being of one's sinews. Secondly, lo, the noble potassium, found within the humble banana, doth serve as a vital essence for the contractions of muscle, the signaling of nerves, and the balance of life's precious fluids. When the levels of potassium dost fall too low, hypokalemia doth ensue, and the muscles grow more susceptible to spasms and cramps most distressing. Lo, the humble banana, a treasure of nature, doth provide a bounteous supply of potassium, unmatched in its grace. One medium banana doth contain approximately 420 milligrams, which be but 12% of the advised daily portion. By the steadfast maintenance of potassium's noble levels, the humble banana doth aid in the regulation of muscles' contractions, preventing the vexing spasms that plague the body. It doth ensure the smoothest of communications twixt nerves for the control of muscle, whilst balancing the fluid levels, thus reducing the cramps that arise from the cruel hand of dehydration. For those of advanced years, partaking in 1 or 2 bananas each day may greatly alleviate the occurrence of muscle cramps. What doth occur when potassium levels doth fall too low, and how doth it lend its hand to the torment of muscle cramps? Potassium doth aid in the conveyance of electric whispers twixt the sinews and the flesh. When the levels of potassium doth descend, the muscles doth become most excitable, resulting in frequent cramping of the flesh. Lo, the signals of the nerves doth falter, thus heightening the peril of unbidden muscle convulsions. Cells doth forfeit their power to maintain the harmony of fluids, leading to the rigidity of muscles. It hath been revealed through studies that the elder folk doth face a greater peril of potassium deficiency, brought forth by diminished appetite or meager dietary intake. The side effects of medicaments, such as diuretics for the regulation of blood pressure, and the excessive loss of moisture through sweat or dehydration. By incorporating the humble banana into their repast, the seniors may naturally restore their potassium levels and uphold the proper function of their muscles. Lo, magnesium, a most vital mineral, doth play a key role in the gentle relaxation of muscles and the proper functioning of nerves. It doth aid in the diminishment of muscle excitability, thus averting sudden cramps. It doth support the production of ATP, bestowing energy for the contractions of muscle. It doth regulate the balance of calcium and potassium, which are essential for the proper functioning of the muscle. Each fair fruit of the banana doth hold within its form 32 milligrams of magnesium, a boon that aids in the prevention of muscle tightness and the vexing spasms that may ensue. Forsooth, as many an elder doth lack sufficient magnesium, partaking of bananas alongside other victuals rich in this noble mineral, such as nuts and verdant greens, may serve to alleviate the cramping of muscles and enhance the art of recovery. Lo, the nocturnal afflictions of the legs, those cramps that dost arise in the dark of night, are oft entwined with the imbalance of vital electrolytes, the deficiency of potassium and magnesium, the sluggish flow of circulation, and the parched state of the body. Forsooth, as bananas dost harbor within their form the treasures of potassium, magnesium, and the life-giving sustenance of hydration, partaking of one an hour or two ere the hour of rest may provide relief from such torment. Loosen sinews, diminishing the fervor of cramps, restoring the harmony of vital essences, warding off the nocturnal twitches, and fostering the tranquility of slumber by alleviating the strain upon the flesh. What role doth vitamin B6, found within yon bananas, play in the realm of nerve function and the restoration of weary muscles? Vitamin B6 doth serve as a vital sustenance for the well-being of the nervous system. It doth assist in the regulation of neurotransmitters, those unseen messengers that govern the movements of our muscles, alleviate the fiery tempest of inflammation, thus aiding the sinews in their swifter return to vigor post-exertion. Enhance the generation of crimson vessels, that the sinews may partake of the vital breath with utmost efficacy. Each banana does bestow upon us 0.4 milligrams of vitamin B6, a measure that approacheth nearly 30% of the daily need for our venerable elders. Studies doth reveal that diminished levels of vitamin B6 may give rise to heightened muscle cramping and spasms, a consequence of nerve dysfunction's cruel hand. Lo, the heights of inflammation does render muscles more susceptible to the pangs of pain and the rigidity of stiffness. Decreased vigor in the forge of energy, resulting in weariness of the sinews. A study conducted in the year of our Lord 2018 did reveal that those of advanced years, who partook not sufficiently of vitamin B6, did suffer more oft from the affliction of leg cramps. Forsooth, as the humble banana doth offer a bounteous supply of vitamin B6, it doth aid in the prevention of ailments that plague the nerves and muscles alike. Lo, the humble banana doth restore the noble potassium and magnesium, thus alleviating the cramps that arise from the imbalance of vital electrolytes. Bestow upon us the sweetness of nature and the life-giving essence of water, that we may flourish in hydration's embrace. Maintain the equilibrium of sodium, for it doth play a vital role in the dance of muscles contraction and relaxation. For those of advanced years, the quenching of thirst and the partaking of sustenance rich in electrolytes such as the humble banana, doth aid in the harmonious functioning of their muscles. Though the humble banana doth aid in quenching thirst, it must be accompanied by a sufficient draught of water. If muscle cramps arise from the bane of dehydration, then quenching one's thirst with ample water is as vital as partaking of the humble banana's nourishing bounty. To achieve the finest outcome, partake of no less than 6 to 8 chalices of water each day. Partake of bananas with the purest of waters or the nectar of the coconut, which doth also bear the essence of vital electrolytes. By the careful stewardship of both fluid and electrolyte, the elder folk may stave off the cruel grasp of dehydration's muscle cramps. What number of bananas ought the elder folk consume each day to aid in the prevention of leg cramps? Lo, the perfect measure doth differ, yet oft a single banana each day dost furnish sufficient potassium and magnesium to uphold the vigor of thy muscles. 2 bananas each day might serve as a boon to those who oft find themselves beset by troublesome muscle cramps, as the noble fruit of the banana doth contain a bounty of natural sugars. It is wise for our elder folk, beset by the trials of diabetes, to partake of them in moderation. Let them accompany such fare as is rich in fiber, like the humble nut or the wholesome grain, to stave off the tumult of blood sugar's rise. For those of advanced years, oft beset by the vexing pangs of muscle cramps, partaking of a single banana each day, quenching one's thirst with ample hydration, and upholding a diet most balanced may greatly enhance the function of their sinews and diminish the recurrence of such discomforts. 3. Lo, the humble nuts and seeds, though oft overlooked, does stand as noble allies in the quest against the cruel grip of cramps, while the bounteous fruits of potassium and magnesium, such as the fair banana and verdant greens, are heralded for their virtues. These tiny treasures of nature may yet bestow upon us the boon of enhanced muscle health and the prevention of such vexing afflictions. Rich in magnesium, potassium, protein, and wholesome fats, these humble nuts and seeds dost aid in the relaxation of muscles, the flow of circulation, and the balance of vital electrolytes. Let us embark upon a journey to discover how almonds, pumpkin seeds, cashews, and other noble nuts may fortify the muscles and grant relief from the cruel grip of cramps in our venerable elders. Oft do the elder folk lack sufficient magnesium, rendering them susceptible to the torment of frequent and painful leg cramps. Lo, nuts and seeds, those humble treasures of nature, dost provide a bounteous supply of magnesium, thus serving as a simple remedy to stave off the cruel pangs of cramp. In yonder measure of an ounce, behold the bounty of magnesium. Pumpkin seeds dost offer 168 milligrams, fulfilling 40% of thy daily quest. Almonds, noble in their own right, provide 77 milligrams, a fifth of thy daily need, whilst cashews, with 74 milligrams, grant nearly a fifth as well. Partaking in a modest handful of these nuts each day may aid in the restoration of magnesium's grace, ensuring thy muscles remain at ease and in good health. Though the humble banana doth oft bear the crown of potassium's favour, many a nut and seed dost also bestow this vital mineral upon the eager seeker. In each ounce of these noble nuts, behold the bounty of potassium. Pistachios bear 290 milligrams, almonds 200 milligrams, and cashews 160 milligrams. Forsooth, as sweat doth carry away vital electrolytes such as magnesium and potassium, so must we replenish these treasures, essential for the restoration of our sinews and the prevention of cramp's cruel grasp. Lo, the humble nuts and seeds dost shine as beacons for the restoration of vital electrolytes. Rich in the noble minerals of magnesium and potassium, they dost support the weary muscles in their recovery. With their healthy fats, they dost quell the flames of inflammation that may beset the sinews. Furthermore, they dost provide the protein necessary for the mending of muscle. For the elder folk, who oft suffer from cramps after their labors, a handful of these treasures, or the addition of seeds to their repast, may restore the lost minerals, and keep their muscles free from torment. In the realm of nature's bounty, the noble fats found within nuts and seeds do serve to enhance the flow of life's vital essence, ensuring that the sinews of our being are nourished with the breath of oxygen, and the noble monounsaturated fats, residing within the embrace of almonds and cashews, dost enhance the flow of life's vital essence, thus diminishing the peril of cramping's cruel grasp. Alas, the wretched flow of blood doth bring forth torment in the limbs, particularly when the night doth cloak the world in darkness. Through the regular consumption of nuts, the elder folk may enhance the flow of their vital essence and diminish the torment of cramping episodes. Doth the consumption of nuts and seeds aid in the reduction of inflammation that doth contribute to the weariness of muscles and the cramping thereof? Verily, chronic inflammation doth harm the muscles' tender fibers, rendering the elder folk more susceptible to the pangs of cramping and the aches of soreness. In the realm of nature's bounty, nuts and seeds dost harbor antioxidants and compounds that quell inflammation, thus diminishing the oxidative burden upon our weary muscles. They grant swift recovery from toil, whilst nurturing the long-term vigor of our sinews, warding off the spectre of frequent cramps for the venerable souls beset by chronic muscle afflictions or the cruel grip of arthritis. The inclusion of walnuts, flax seeds, and almonds within their repast may bestow the gentle embrace of natural relief from inflammation. Though all nuts and seeds dost offer precious sustenance, certain among them art especially advantageous for the vigor of muscle, owing to their abundant stores of magnesium, potassium, and protein. Lo, the finest nuts and seeds to stave off the cruel grip of leg cramps are as follows. Pumpkin seeds, abundant in magnesium, dost offer 168 milligrams per ounce. Almonds, a splendid source of both magnesium and potassium, dost shine forth. Pistachios, noble in their potassium content, provide 290 milligrams per ounce. Cashews, rich in magnesium and healthy fats, dost aid in circulation. Walnuts, laden with omega-3s, dost diminish muscle inflammation. For optimal benefit, let the elders partake of a diverse array of nuts and seeds, that they may reap the bounty of varied muscle-supporting nutrients. What number of nuts and seeds ought the elder folk consume each day to stave off the affliction of leg cramps? Though nuts and seeds dost bear great nourishment, they art also rich in calories. Thus, the measure of one's portion must be heeded with care. Recommended intake: a small handful, 1 ounce, of nuts per day, about 20 almonds or 2 tablespoons of seeds. Sprinkle seeds, flax seeds, chia, Pumpkin seeds on meals for added benefits. Best times to eat nuts and seeds for muscle health. With meals, helps with nutrient absorption and electrolyte balance. Before bed, can reduce nighttime leg cramps by keeping muscles relaxed. After exercise, helps restore lost electrolytes and aids muscle recovery by consuming nuts in moderation. Seniors can prevent cramps while maintaining a balanced diet. While nuts and seeds offer many benefits, there are a few considerations. High calorie content. Overeating nuts can lead to weight gain, so portion control is important. Salted or processed nuts. High sodium content in salted nuts can contribute to dehydration, increasing cramp risk. Allergies. Some people may have nut allergies, so alternative sources of magnesium and potassium should be digestive issues. Nuts and seeds are fiber-rich, which may cause bloating or discomfort in seniors with sensitive digestion. Solution: choose unsalted, raw or dry roasted nuts and eat in moderation to enjoy maximum muscle health benefits without side effects. For seniors looking to naturally reduce muscle cramps, eating a small handful of nuts or adding seeds to meals daily can be an easy and delicious way to support muscle health. If you found this video helpful, please remember to hit the like button. It really helps us bring you more valuable content. Drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts, questions, or what topic you'd like us to cover next. We love hearing from you. Verily, do press the subscribe button and activate notifications, that thou mayest never miss our most recent counsel on health and wisdom. Remain enlightened, remain well, and we shall meet thee in the next moving picture.